Hey everybody, what's going on? Good to see you all. Let me know if you can hear and see me okay. Starting to get a cough in my throat already. We just started. How's everybody doing? Hope you're all doing well. Sorry about the late notice on the live stream. That's usually what I like to do. I was just finishing up a little bit of work here, and I thought I got about an hour and a half before I have something else I got to get done. So I figured I'd jump on here. It's been a couple of weeks and say hello and see who kind of shows up. And for people who don't show up and can watch the replay, or for people that come in late can watch the replay. So good to have everybody here. I hope you're all doing well. Let me see who's here. You already got a few people here. David S.J., what's up, brother? He's at work, but maybe he's watching still. Hey, Juan, good to see you, my friend. Good to have you. Hey, Ken. How you doing? You got your PreSonus Quantum HD2. Okay, cool. You like it, but you ran into some glitches. What problems did you have? Did you get it all straightened out? Let us know. Hey, Michael J., how are you? Good to see you. You're at work. Awesome. Yeah, who needs to work? Sit down and watch a live stream instead. Izu, is how you say that? Hello, everyone. I'm new. Hello, how are you? Good to join us. Thank you for joining us. Juan says he's feeling a little bit under the weather. Oh, I hope you're feeling better, man. Hope you're feeling better. We're winding down. We're in fall already, right? Summer's over. And we're busy here. And yeah, I got a couple of cool things to tell you guys about that you guys may want to check out. A lot of videos I did since the last time I was here on a live stream that I did that are already scheduled for the channel. I think I have videos all the way up through Thanksgiving already done, shot, scheduled, ready to go. Let's see some of those videos that you might be interested in. The ZNH 1178, that video I think goes live next week. We have the ZNH 560 EQs, those API 500 stuff in the rack. Those go live in a few weeks. Also the ZNH 250 500 series, which is the 500 series of the big unit I've already did a review on. Those are going to be going live. What else we got? The Audioscape decomp, that video's been done. That's a killer compressor, by the way. Really like that a lot. Looking forward to using that even more and more. What other videos? There's at least 6 or 7 more that are already done. Just trying to think off the top of my head which ones they were. I think there was a couple of videos on workflow stuff, hybrid workflow stuff that some of you guys might like. Yeah, I think that might be it. But it's already out till Thanksgiving, so we got a lot of videos already done. Couple of new pieces of gear coming in. Couple of companies reached out to me about trying out a couple of compressors. One I'm really excited about, which is GainLab Audio. The company I have, the Empressor EQ, they're sending me their stereo opto compressor called the Governor. That was shipped out to me, I think, on Thursday. I should get it sometime the end of next week. That looks like a really cool compressor. Much like the Empressor EQ, it's an opto compressor, but it's got a dual stage in it. It's got a tube saturation circuit in it. It's got a whole bunch of different options on it. I've been looking at it online. Looks like it's really cool, very versatile. Something that's completely different than anything else I already own. So their EQ is spectacular. I love their EQ. So I'm really looking forward to checking out their this Governor compressor. That ought to be a lot of fun. You won't see that video till December. But it's coming next week. That might be cool. Maybe we'll do something on a live stream with it prior to the official video. I don't know. So that's coming. The GainLab Audio Governor compressor. Also a new company that I've never really heard of. Maybe some of you guys have. Called RSE Audio. They're a builder out of Ukraine, which is interesting. They want to send me their stereo Verimute compressor to check out. I don't know much about them. I don't know if you guys have ever heard anything about them. I looked a little bit on their website. Again, a small builder only has a handful of pieces, maybe 4 or 5 pieces of gear. But their VA3A compressor seems like a nice unit to check out. So they're going to be sending me that as well. Not sure when I'm going to get that, but anyhow, I spoke to them this week, and they were interested in sending it to me. And I said, yeah, I'd be happy to check it out. I don't know much about it. I don't know if you guys know anything about RSC audio. So that's coming in. So there's got new gear coming to check out and do some demos. Some of it might be given away for part of our mixing contest stuff, which, by the way, we just finished up the Mixing Masterclass Volume 2 over at Home Recording Made Easy. That mixing contest is over. Our winners are being announced tomorrow, as a matter of fact. And then we're going to start the next one. The next course I'm going to do is, and I just started setting it up on the console today. It's what I've been doing most of the day, is mixing hybrid hard rock. So I got the console set up. I got the DAW set up. I'm going to start filming that course on Monday. And we will be giving away some gear as part of a mixing contest for that as well. That will come out sometime, probably around Halloween, end of October is when that course will be released. And there'll be a bunch of prizes to be given away. I'm still working on putting all the packages together, but I got a lot of gear to give away. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So that'll be a cool course. You'll really like that. So if you're into winning some gear and joining a mixing contest, stay tuned to the channel because you're going to learn all about it. You're going to learn all about it. Okay, let's see who's kind of here. We may not get a lot of people because this is kind of last minute. Saturday mid-afternoon, people are probably out and about. But I'll stay on here for as long as there's a few people that want to chat it up. Let's see. Ken Johnson said, let's see here. You tried to add 8 channels from your Behringer 1820. Okay. Which I find out isn't standalone. And if you have it on still connected via ADAT, the auto gain works. But if you turn off the Behringer, it won't. Huh. Okay. So is that coinciding with your quantum? That's what I'm assuming. Yeah, I don't know anything about the Behringer 1820. I really don't know much about the new PreSonus quantum interfaces. So I wish I can help you with that, but I don't know much about it. Did you get it all sorted out, or are you still kind of stuck? If you're still kind of stuck, yeah, because I don't have either one of those pieces of gear. So I can't help you, man. I'm sorry. I wish I can help you with that. I wish I can help you with that. So that sucks. Hopefully you'll get that squared away. So what else going on? Ken says, yes, it's with that quantum. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know anything about that Behringer unit. Oh, but you got it all working? Okay, cool. Well, then, hey, right on me. I'm glad you got it all working. That's always nice. It sucks when gear's not working. What video did I do this week? The Galaxy 64 video went live the other day. A lot of people watched that, a lot of comments, which is great. A lot of good feedback, a lot of interesting comments on that video. People talking about their I/O and their converters, which is a lot of fun. I'm glad that video was helpful. See, what else do I wanted to tell you guys? Oh, and yeah, AES is coming up in October. If any of you guys going to AES in New York, that's coming up in, I think, mid-October. I got my passes the other day. I have passes to go. I'm thinking about going. I'm not sure yet. Not sure yet. Possibly. I'd like to go. I just don't know if my schedule's going to allow it. GD47, how are you, my friend? Best gear to buy around $1,500. Got to be a little more specific in that. What kind of gear? I don't know anything about your setup. I don't know what you have, what you don't have. So, best gear to buy for $1,500 is too vague of a question, my friend. I'm sorry. Be a little more specific. I might be able to help you. Might be able to help you. Let's see, how many people do we got here? Let me check my stats here. Oh, I got 17 people here. Wonderful. Nice. Nice. Yeah, let me know if you guys are going to AES. That might be kind of fun. If I get enough people saying they're going to go, Maybe we'll meet up there. I do have a couple of companies that want me to go, so I want to do some meetings and stuff. It's only about two hours away from me. It's not too far, so I might actually take a trip out there for a day. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it all goes. Might be good just to get out and get around gear and talk to some other companies. The other thing I wanted to tell you guys, for people who don't know, our mixing membership website, mixingmadeeasy.net, is closing at the end of December. All my members know about it, but for people who are not, who have never been a part of mixingmadeeasy.net or don't know anything about it, it was a monthly mixing membership website. I ran it for almost 8 years, and it's closing at the end of this year. We're going to shut it down. I'm going to do something different. And the reason why I'm letting people know is because I have all of the content from the last 8 years that I'm making available to anybody that wants to purchase it at a steal. So you can check out the link I'm going to put in the chat. And you guys can go check that out. There's a little video there. There's a PDF file. If anybody's interested in picking up some of the back catalog from 2017 all the way through 2024, you can purchase each one of the monthly content courses by the month. You can check that out. And let me know. Send me an email. Let me know if you guys are interested in something. If you are, that'll be cool. At the end of December, that's all going to go away. So that'll be cool. B-Bits, what's up? Issue of the board. Oh, issue of that board is they're so super clean. So as the preamp, meaning barely any color, might need some 1-1 transformer color box. Oh, is that a... Oh, I skipped something up above. I'm sorry. I missed your first thing here. Tomorrow, you're getting a DNR 4000 board. Cool. 40 channel frame with 30 channels. 6 of them need a lot of love. Okay. But I might reduce the channels on the desk to 24 and build a production deck in the center. Oh, that's really cool. I've never used a DNR. That's awesome. Good for you. And you were saying down here that it's so super clean that you might need a color. You may need some kind of a color box or some transformers or something like that. Yeah, well, I'm sure you have inserts, right? I would imagine that board has inserts on every channel. You probably have inserts on the master section. I would assume you do. You can add, there's plenty of outboard gear you can buy to add some of that color and flavor if the board is super clean. That's nothing wrong with that. As long as you have insert points, you should be able to do that. Congratulations on the purchase, man. GD47 says you got a 511, 1073, a Bluey, cool. An Apollo 8 and a blue baby bottle and an Atom AX7 pair of the speakers. Okay, so you got a little bit of gear going on. You want to know what else you could buy. Well, 1,500 bucks. What do you got there? You got a 511, a 1073, a Bluey. Get something for your master bus, man. Get something where you can run your whole mix through it. I don't think you have anything in your chain from what you wrote here. I would do something like that, possibly, if you're looking for something like that where you can run your whole mix out through a chain, through a 2-bus chain. You know, something like 1,500. You had a little bit more money. Something like an SSL Fusion might be a good choice. Something along those lines. If you had a 1,500 bucks. If you had a 500 series rack, maybe a pair of Neve Portico 542 tape emulators. That's right around the $1,600–1,800 mark. You can do it for $1,500 on the used market. That would be something to do if you want to run your whole mix through that. I think that would be that'd be some options. Yep, that's what Michael's saying. Build your 2-bus. Jack says, hey, Jack, how are you? Any opinions on the SSL Big 6? You hear varying opinions. I've never used it. There's a couple of people that follow the channel that have been on our live streams that have them, and they always say good things about them. But that's just only a couple of people. I've never used one. I tried to get one in here at one time to do a video. SSL won't send me one, so I'm not going to buy one. So I don't know. I mean, anything SSL is generally really high quality, so I would be surprised if it wasn't any good. I would be shocked if it wasn't any good. I'm sure it is, but I've never used it. Beatsmith 2005, what's up, brother? Neve MBT video coming soon. That video's been done as well. I was telling you a little earlier about my upcoming videos. That video's been recorded as well. It'll be out between now and Thanksgiving. I don't know what week it's scheduled. Probably sometime early November. But it's done. I did it this past week. You haven't thought about that? I'll check out the category of the 2-bus and the 542 as well. Those are a great choice. Thank you for your advice. You're very welcome. The 542s are great. If you're looking for some color, some saturation that you could put across the whole mix, that's a really good choice. If you could spend a little bit more money, the SSL Fusion's a really good choice. But that's a little bit more than $1,500. I don't know what they're going for today. But you could probably buy them. You could probably buy used for $1,800 to $2,000. Would be my guess. That would be my guess. So yeah, no problem, man. Good luck and let us know what you purchase. Let's see, what else? I've already told you everything I wanted to tell you. Mixing hybrid hard rocks coming up. We talked about that. AES, if you guys are going to that. MixingMadeEasy.net's going away. Check the link that I put in the chat. You can check that out. And you can buy some backlog or back catalog if you want. Because at the end of December, that won't be available anymore. That'll be gone. So if you want that, you only could get those for the next few months. I won't be selling those in the future. B-Bit, what is your dream gear right now? Something you like, may never be able to get. I want a Fairchild 670. That's the only thing that's really on my list that I want. But not sure which manufacturer I would purchase, whether it's Stam or Audioscape or Heritage Audio or Undertone. Right now, I'm not ready to spend the money. It won't happen this calendar year. Maybe I'll put in the budget for next year. But that's the one piece of gear that I would really want. Everything else I've already really got. I really don't need anything else. I got so much gear. Some of this gear is going to get sold at the beginning of next year. I'm working on still trying to figure out which stuff I absolutely want to keep. I'm still haven't made up my mind yet on how much of this stuff I'm going to keep and how much of it's going to go. But that's the one piece of gear. That's the one piece of gear. Can I do a video comparing the decomp to the 609? Maybe at one point. Again, that probably wouldn't happen till the end of this year because, like I said, I've already got everything already done all the way through Thanksgiving. So possibly I did the decomp video. The video for that, just the decomp is done. But yeah, possibly. Hey, Dave, what is your feeling about the Luna compared to a couple of years ago? It's been your daily driver for songwriter, recording, and mixing. Oh, cool. Your next album was done on Luna. You know, I've always said I like Luna. I haven't used it in the last, I don't know, it's probably been 6 months since I've used it. I think what I know about it and what little I've used it over the years, I like it. I still think they got a long way to go. There's still a lot of features it's missing. They just released a version now that supports multi-outs on VST instrument, which was huge for a lot of folks. So now that's been done. But I mean, for basic in the box recording, mixing, mastering, I think it's great. I like Luna. I really do. But it's still got features it needs, and I hear on the Windows version that's just been released, it's still a little buggy. But, you know, again, it's the new kid on the block as far as DAWs are concerned. And so it's got, you know, it's got time. It still needs time. But I love Universal Audio and I love everything they do. So I hope they continue to develop it. I wish they would put out their updates and their fixes a little bit faster. It seems like it takes a long time for them to add one feature. Not sure why that is. But I do like it. I do like it. Malcolm, hey Malcolm, you have an undertone 670. Oh, you do? It is the one of, if not the best choice. So you have that undertone 670, that real big unit, that's the unfair child, right? I looked at that one. Vintage King Aslos for about 11 grand. I think you could buy a demo unit for about 9,500. That's the one you have, Malcolm? That's great. That's great. That's the one I would love to get one. St. Nick, I'm thinking about getting an MPC X. My interface is the new Motu 8028. And there's audible advantage. Are there audible advantage going to 8 outs? And if so, should I use a mixer or go straight into the Motu? You're thinking about the MPCX. Is that the MIC DSP thing? I've never used it. I think that's what that is, right? Are there audible advantages going 8 outs? Well, it depends on what you're running it into. The only reason why you want to go out of the DAWs is to go to some hardware, analog stuff, right? Should you use a mixer? If you're only doing 8 out, probably not. I wouldn't get a mixer unless you were going into a console, personally. Hey, Kaiser, what's up? Nice, Malcolm. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. Man. If you ever get bored of it and you want to send it to me for a while, the demo, I'd love to try. I'd love to try it, man. I mean, I know it's got to be awesome. There's no trying it and then trying to figure out whether you like it or not, right? Man, that's the one piece of gear I'm going to get probably next year. Because that's it. That's the only other thing I really want. Everything else can kind of come or go. I mean, there's some pieces that I really, really enjoy I wouldn't get rid of, but that's one that's so incredibly unique and does something that nothing else does. Good for you, my friend. I'm glad you got one. How long have you had it? And have you had any issues with it? Like, how long have you had it? Any idea what the AudioScape 670 price point is going to be? I do not. I'm not even sure when it's coming out. Not even sure. I don't know that it's coming out this year. I know they just did the 609, the 33609. They're sending me one of those soon as well to do a demo on. Again, I don't need that either. That'll be another one that if they send it to me, I'll work out a deal with AudioScape that I could give it away as part of a mixing contest prize. That's basically what I'm doing now, guys. If companies sending me gear, unless it's something I really need and really want, if it's really good gear, I'm going to be putting it aside to give away. That's what I'm going to do. So yeah, but I don't know what the price will be. Higher Grounds. My guess would be it isn't going to be any less than 6 or 8 grand. It can't be. It's not going to be. They're going to be competitively priced with everybody else. Yeah. Oh, you are close by, Malcolm? You live in my home state? Oh, man. Maybe I will have to come by and play with it. And you've had it for 8 years? No issues? No maintenance? No nothing? Really? Because I don't know how often you use it. I know you do a lot of mixing. So I'm not sure how often, like how many hours a week do you think you put on that thing, Malcolm? What would you say? Because if you've had it 8 years and you haven't had a single issue, that's fantastic for any piece of gear, to be honest, unless you hardly ever use it, you know. But that's great. Man, see, now that's... Yep, so just based on the fact that you're nearby, I would like to check yours out before I checked out anybody else's because I'd like to hear it myself. Hey, Rock, what's up? You heard 7K for the AudioScape. That could be right. I don't know if they're going to do a mono and a stereo unit, the AudioScape, I mean. Are they going to do like a 660 and a 670? I know about the 670. I don't know if they'll eventually do a mono unit as well. Don't know. But 7K, that's probably right. I mean, because if you look around, with the exception of Fairchild, the new release by Fairchild, which is 35 grand, except for that. Undertone, I think, is the most expensive one I've seen at around 11,000. Stam Audio is around 7,000 or 8,000-ish, depending on what version you get. Heritage, I think it's Heritage Audio, right? They make the Firechild or something like that. I think that's like 10 grand, right? So I gotta think that a 670 by Audioscape will be at least 7,000, at least. Maybe it'll be less, I don't know. Ah, you said you think it'll be around 68? Maybe. As soon as I find out, man, I'll let you guys know. I'll be, you know, I don't think that's going to be one that Audioscape's going to send me. I wouldn't expect anyone to send me a piece of that caliber. I will buy that, but I want to buy the right one. I want to buy the right one. Yeah, I think that's a fair price too, Higher Grounds. Yeah. Can you verify that the Origin uses 8mm shaft fader caps versus the UF8? You know, I don't know. I'd have to look it up. You could probably, you could look up the manual online for the Origin, and it'll probably tell you. Because I'm not sure, to be totally honest, offhand. Oh, you live in Milford. You live 25 minutes from me. Oh yeah, we'll have to hook up at one point, Malcolm. If you're this close, I didn't know that. I'd love to just meet you anyway, because you've been following me at Home Recording Made Easy for years. I didn't realize you were so close. I would have loved to have met you in person just to shake your hand and say thank you for all the support. It's rare that I get followers and students that are so close to me. Most people live all over the world. Nobody lives 20 minutes from my house. So we ought to hook up just to meet in person, because I really do appreciate everything you've done for me as way of support over the years. So yeah, that's great. That's the case with my Blue Bottle. I thought you had it for like 8 or 9 years. Great. Malcolm, is that the only, he wants to know if that's the only Verimute in your toolbox. Well, I don't know. What else do you need? What other Verimute do you need once you got one of those? I mean, I have the V Comp, which is a Verimute. I also have the West Audio RIA, the 500 series, which is a Verimute. And there might be, Gain Lab Audio also wants to send me a Verimute. They were talking to me about it. I think it's called the Dictator, I think it might be called. Yeah, because the Governor is an opto compressor. I think the Dictator is a Verimute. And I know they talked to me about sending me one of those at one point. But again, the deal is I don't need all this gear, man. So I'm going to try it. And again, it would have to be with the understanding that that I can give some of the stuff away. So I got to get permission from companies to do that. I mean, I guess I really don't need to get permission, because when they give me a piece of gear and exchange it for a video, I get to keep the gear and do what I want with it. So I guess I could just give it away. What are they going to say? No. But anyway, I like to just make sure the company's aware that it could stay in my rack, but honestly, I got so much stuff. I don't need it. So anyway, I have a few Verimutes and maybe a few more to check out. Any thoughts if I want to upgrade my console? Michael J. Currently using Soundtrack Solo, looking to go up to a 32 channel. Obviously, I'm not jumping into an SSL or an Eve. I can do some repairs. I have no recommendation as far as what would you buy. It would depend on what your budget is. And the only console that I've ever used personally in my own studio is this SSL. I've used consoles in studios in the past, but we're talking vintage consoles from many years ago. So it would depend on what you want to upgrade to and how much money you're looking to spend. That's really the bottom line. You want to go to a 32 channel, what's your budget? That's the first question I have. Because if you don't have a budget large enough, you may not even want to spend the money. So use it on something else. You know what I'm saying? A 32 channel board, there's options out there, but you got to be willing to spend some dough. Unless you could get something used, you know. Oh, under 7K. I don't know where you would be able to find a 32 channel console of any kind, even if it needs to be a little bit fixed, because it sounds like you're pretty handy, Michael. For 10,000 bucks, get on Reverb and search it. I wouldn't even know where to tell you. You may end up buying some old Mackie or, something like that. But to be honest with you, my friend, I wouldn't even buy something like that. Don't waste your money. I mean, what's the purpose of you wanting to upgrade your console? Just because you want more physical faders? I mean, what are you looking to achieve? You know what I'm saying? Because if you just go buy like a Mackie or an old Behringer or something like that, I wouldn't spend thousands of dollars or anything like that personally. I just think if you had 10 grand, I would look at what else in your rig do you got? Where else in the system could that money be better spent? Not sure. But I couldn't give you any console recommendations at that price point. Yeah, maybe someone else could. I don't know. I'm trying to think off the cuff here, but I can't think of anything. Not for that money. Babette says the Amex are in that price range. Okay. Again, I have no experience with those, but you might be able to find something like that. I don't know anything about those consoles at all. I don't know if that's if you can get something. Does Amex still make that stuff? Do they still make a console? I don't know. I know they did years ago. Not sure. Hey Brian, how are you, brother? Yeah, I agree with you. If I was going to spend 10 grand, I would figure out I would want to know about your whole rig before you just upgraded a console just for the sake of upgrading a console. Unless you're going to go to something like this, where it's like, okay, you're going for the whole, you know what I mean? Then maybe. As a matter of fact, it's funny, we're talking about this topic. One of the videos it won't come out till around Christmas time because it'll be like a Christmassy video. But on this channel and my other YouTube channel, I'm doing a video on this channel will be, if I was starting from scratch, building a hybrid studio at different price points, what would I tell you to buy based on my experience? So we're going to have like a $5,000 bracket, a $10,000 bracket, a $20,000 bracket. I think it's a $40,000 or $50,000 bracket up to $100 grand. What would I buy? So I'm going to do a video on that, showing you if I was starting in those price buckets and you were starting from scratch on the smaller, like the $5,000 bucket, assuming you have a computer, you have a halfway decent set of speakers, what would I buy? And take you through the experience that I've had with all this gear and kind of show you and put together kind of wish lists. It's going to come out sometime in December. I'm doing that for this channel. And I'm also doing it at Home Recording Made Easy for in-the-box, smaller setups for people, on a $500 budget, a $1,000 budget, a $2,500 budget, that kind of thing. It's so funny. We're kind of talking about, hey, if I had 10 grand, what would you buy? It wouldn't be a console at 10 grand. I would be buying a bunch of outboard gear, unless I already had it. Yeah, Fernando's right. You buy a lot of 500 series stuff, man. Oh, the Amex are gone, but they're still on Reverb? Yeah. Cool. The Neve VR Flying Fader 48 is 30K. Well, he only wants to spend 10, my friend. 30K, now you got a different, you're in a different world now. 30K, you could buy that. You could buy a Trident for 30K. You could buy an Origin 16 for 35K. You could buy an SSL XL desk for 20K. And you can load it up with a bunch of 500 series modules. I don't think it's 32 fader though. It's only 24. So I think he said he wanted 32 faders. Yeah. That's what I kind of thought. It may not be worth making the jump unless I jump all the way. Yeah, you have a Stam G-Bus, cool. Stam Pultec, got that, cool. Handsome Audio Zulus, never heard of those. Yeah, but you say you already have a console of some kind, right, Michael? But yeah, and I guess I would want to know, well, what are you really trying to achieve? Is that, my guess is just to put the physical faders in front of you? It's got to be more than that to spend, you know what I mean? It's got to be more than that. Because at that price point, for the most part, unless there's a console I'm just not aware of, you know, those consoles at that price point, they're not really going to impart any sounds. I mean, they may be more of a headache than what they're worth. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would want to know, what do you currently have and what are you looking to achieve? Brian says that he uses his RME DAT PCIe card connected to the Ferro Fish Pulse 16. And that gives you 72 in and out. Yeah. You can get a bunch of Ferro Fish Pulse 16s and Cranborns and put that outboard gear. You're right, Brian. You could definitely do that. Definitely do that. Yeah, you're right, Fernando, but the SSL XL is only going to be 24 fader. I think he said he wants 32, and that comes completely empty. That's none of the 500 series loaded up, I think. Which is okay, honestly, because then you can kind of pick and choose what you want. You know what I mean? Like as far as what gear you want in there. So yeah. Yeah. But an XL might be a good choice. I've never used one. But again, just like with the Big Six, I can't imagine it's not any good. I don't know how there was. About 2 years ago. SSL contacted me. They were going to send me an XL. They wanted me to do some. They contacted me to do a bunch of stuff, and then I guess they decided they couldn't do it or didn't want to do it. So we were going to have an XL in here at one point, just to kind of, you know, because it's like the step down from the Origin. Like, what is it? What are the differences? But didn't happen. Sorry. That would have been fun to check it out anyway. Yeah, I would agree. There's other ways to do it. So make sure you give me a thumbs up. If you're new here and you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that. If you find this channel helpful to you in any way, feel free to do a super chat. That's always greatly appreciated. And yeah, I'm glad that you guys are checking out the live streams, checking out the videos, and hopefully this channel is helping you in some small way in your home studio, because that's what this channel is all about. So if you're getting in the hybrid and you're getting in the gear and you need some help, I'm here to help the best I can. Let me see here. Am I already down to the bottom of the chat already? Let me look. Might be a slow day today, which will be okay. So if you have any questions, if anybody's watching and Want to talk about gear or have a question about your studio or whatever, feel free to type it in the chat. I'll try to help you any way I can. It'll be cool. That'll be cool. Yeah. And if it's kind of a quiet day, that's okay. I wasn't going to stay on long here today anyway, because I got a lot of stuff to do. In about 45 minutes, I'd have to run anyway. So I won't be here for very long. But I'll be back in a few more weeks as we get into October. So what else is going on, guys? Tell me what you're working on. Tell me what your problems are in your studios. Christmas is coming. Did you put any gear on your Christmas list for Santa? Is Santa coming to your studio with some gear? That would be really cool, right? Oops. Cool. Wow, it's kind of quiet today. All right. This could have been a shorter live stream than I thought it was going to be. Fernando's got a quest. What's your quest? What is your quest? Yeah. I might go to AES. I got a free pass the other day from SSL. They sent me a pass and said, come on down. We'd love to talk to you and stuff. And I might. Because I don't go to NAMM anymore because NAMM's just too far. I'm not going to California. It's just too expensive to go. But AES is, a couple hours away. So possibly see what they got going on there. You like seeing Audioscape decomp? They say it's a replica of the TG12345. Yeah, it is. The video's already done, Brian. You just won't see it for about another 4 or 5 weeks. I did it this week. I did a demo for it. It's really nice. It's nice. It definitely has a different kind of sound, which I like. So that video will be coming. Oh, I don't know when it's scheduled, but it's already done. It's already been scheduled. Does the XXL have automated fade? No. You got to spend probably near $100,000 to get a console that has automated faders. Yeah. I don't know any console. Well, there's some out there that might be less than that. May have 16 channels and they may be flying faders, but none of those will have automation packages built in. No, you're near $100,000 if you want something like that. Trust me. So the SSL desk is just basically the faders with a bank of 500 series rack built into the desk that you can add whatever 500 modules you want, whether it's EQs, compressors, or what have you. So that's cool. So it's an integrated 500 rack in a console. But that's it. There's no other bells and whistles in that thing at all. Yeah, Brian, I think you'll like it. It's definitely different. It's really cool. I like it a lot. You're looking at the NEAM 5507. Is that that's the Orbit? That's the summing mixer, right? I've never used it. But I have a couple of students that have that exact unit and they love it. Love it. It's Neve, it's got to be good. I think it's a 16-channel summing box, but I've never heard it. But the two people that I work with pretty regularly, they do private coaching with me. They love it. They say it changed their world, but I've never been in the room with it to hear it. So I'll take their word for it. I'm sure it's great. Not sure how much it is. It's probably a few grand, but I'm sure it's really good. If they told me it's good, I believe it. Wonder why the Loop Trotter console never caught on. Yeah, isn't that modular console that you can kind of build again? I've seen it. You know, I don't know. I don't know much about it as far as the quality of it and all of that. But it's a great concept, right? That was basically, I believe, a console that you can kind of order like a Lego set and build it and customize it the way you want. Not sure. I've never been in the room with one, so I've never put my hands on one. I don't know if there was something about it. Maybe they're still out there and people are buying them. Not sure. But it sounds like a great concept, doesn't it? What would be cool is a retro automated faders kit. That would be cool. I don't know how you would implement that into a console that doesn't have it. Oh, something that fits over the faders. There is a company, the name's going to escape me. There is a company that makes a kit that can be retrofitted to a console that doesn't have automatic flying faders, automated faders, motorized faders. They're out of England, I believe, where you can replace your faders with this system. Oh man, I wish I could remember it. I actually looked into it because I was looking for a way to do automation on this console. And it was one thing I considered, but I had some email communication with the company and I wasn't impressed with them. The product sounded really cool. Their website really sucks. There's nothing on YouTube about their stuff. But the concept was really good. And the company, at least the person that I communicated with, seemed like he couldn't be bothered to even help me with information. I wish I could remember the name of it. Anyway, so the way I got around that was these are not flying faders, but I have a fully recallable automation system by West Audio called the NG Leveler. So the automation is not written with the console faders. It's written with a DAW controller fader or your mouse, and it's all post-processing. I've already did a video on the channel about it. So I have 32 channels. All 32 of my faders can be automated post-processing. And I use it all the time. And that's a really inexpensive in the scheme of things solution to adding post-processing automation that's 100% recallable digitally on a console that doesn't have it. And I think it was, it's about, I think it was like about $2,000 for 16 faders. So 32 faders, about $4,000 is what I spent. They're in the racks over there, right here. With the two orange labels on it. Those are the two West Audio. They're 1U spaces. Those are the two West Audio NG levelers. They're $2,000 each. Each one of them gives me 16. I have them on all 32 faders. So I can write automation on all 32 faders, all completely recallable, all post-processing, just like you would want. But you write it with either a motorized DAW controller fader, or you could do it with a mouse, trackball, that kind of thing. It's not written on these. But the end result is exactly the same. I will say it is a little clunky at first to get used to, but it works beautifully. There's a video on my channel about it. That's the cheapest solution that I've seen. If you don't want to have a console with it all built in, or can't spend the money to get a console that'll have it all built in. Brian says he was thinking about getting the Dangerous Music 2-Bus Plus summing mixer. Oh, cool. They make great gear. I've never used their stuff either. I mean, never used that particular piece, but they make high quality gear. They make good stuff. Yes, Fader Mate. That was it. Fader Mates. Great concept. Could be a fantastic company, but I wasn't impressed. I couldn't even get them to really communicate with me. They were really kind of like standoffish. And I wasn't approaching them looking for them to, you know, do something for free and videos and all that. No, it wasn't at all. I was trying to just contact them as a consumer, saying, I heard about this thing. Here's my console. I looked on YouTube. There's really not much. I think there might have been one old video or two, at least at that time. It's going back a couple of years now. And I tried to reach out to them to say, hey, you know, this sounds like a great idea. I can't believe you don't have this advertised anywhere. And they were just kind of, I don't know. I was just like, and then I went to their website, and their website at that time was just really antiquated, and there's like no information or very little information on it. So anyway, I think at that time, the FaderMate solution for this console, 32 faders, would have been somewhere around $7 or $8 grand if I remember right. Which again, if it was a great company with good communication and they had a product that, you know what I mean? Like if I was impressed by them, I mean, the NG levelers were only $4 grand. Would I have spent $7 or $8 grand and had it on the console, motorized faders? Maybe I would have. Maybe I would have. But, you know, a couple of emails back and forth, and I was just like, I wouldn't deal with that company. But that's just me. Hey, Chris, what's going on? Welcome. This is your first time here. How does it work? The way it works, Juan, is supposedly you take your faders out of here. Underneath you, in this console, there's a plate underneath, and the whole circuit board comes out, and you put theirs in, and it fits right in. And it's all connected, you know, ribbon cable connects them all together. And then it goes to I believe a computer, like a 1U box, computer box. It looked like, it looked like a great idea and a pretty easy install. Now, every console would be a little different. You know, every console install would be a little different. I don't know that it fits every console. You need to have the proper depth underneath your current faders in the console. There's some things, some specs you need to measure out and stuff. But I think it would have fit in this console. So I was just inquiring about it, you know, and you don't have to buy all 32. I think you could buy them in buckets of 8 or buckets of 4, I forget. And I would have tried it. I would have at least tried it on a couple of faders just to see how it works, but the guy was kind of a jerk, to be honest. And again, I wasn't asking anything from him. I wasn't looking for a deal. Like, you know, some people, they just pepper companies looking for a bunch of free stuff. And I understand companies, you know, probably get aggravated by that. And I don't even do that, believe me. 99% of the time, companies reach out to me looking to give me stuff. I don't call around asking for free stuff. And I wasn't doing that on this either. I was just wanted to know. But wouldn't do it. Not with that company anyway. I'm thinking about getting the Better Maker Valve EQ. Oh, cool. Oh, yeah. Oh, the plugging, you mean? Yeah, if you already have too many plug-in EQs, you don't need that one. But if for 20 bucks, if you feel like throwing 20 bucks away, or throw 20 bucks in the super chat. I'm only kidding. Yeah, I haven't looked at their website in a while, Juan. But yeah, it was very lean. I remember, and there wasn't a lot of stuff on it. And my guess is they probably don't sell very many of those systems. If they did, it would be all over YouTube. All over YouTube. Because that is a solution that a lot of console owners face. You know, when you want to buy a console, as we were talking about a little bit earlier, unless you're going to spend, if you want a minimum of 24 faders and up, and you want something that has motorized recall automation, unless you're going to spend 80,000 bucks or up, you don't have a prayer of getting anything like that. Because believe me, when I bought this console, as we talked about on this channel a bunch of times over the years, I looked at some of those more expensive consoles. I couldn't afford it. So this console had everything I wanted, except it doesn't have automation built in recall. And honestly, recall is that's a nice thing to have. But I don't even care about that because the amount of recalls I do are so little. But having the automation in this thing and being able to write it right in real time and have it write it to the desk or to a computer and not have to use, like I said, the NG levelers by Wes Audio is a wonderful solution, but it is a little clunky. It's not as nice as having it right in the desk. Not as nice. I wish, because at the time, this was a $58,000 console when I bought this. If the automation package was only like another 10 grand or so, I would have bought it. Or 20, I don't know. You know what I mean? But you can't go from 60 and then get something at 70 that has it all in it. You got to go from 60 like 100 or 90. So I'm surprised that there's not a company out there that has a solution. FaderMate, cool idea. I'm surprised nobody else has done that. There must not be a very big market in it. But I don't know. I think for guys like me and people that are willing to spend decent money on a console but can't go that high level, can't go to the $100,000 mark, would invest in such a system. I would. But so my guess is they really don't sell a lot of those units. Or else I think it would be all over the YouTube if it did. But, you know, the NG levelers do work. And it is a great system. It's just not as convenient and it's a little clunky, but it works. And once you get used to it, it's not so bad. But I would much, 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 much rather have it in the console. But the problem is, again, I can't spend that kind of dough. Oh, cool. You watched the mixing video and you're enjoying mixing the free track. Oh, okay, so you must have saw one of the videos where I gave some multi-tracks away. Great, Chris. Good for you, man. Thanks for watching it. Hope you dig the tracks. When you looked at the video for fader module, the install looked no different than an SSL fader. And the skill need is no different than a typical fader maintenance. Yeah. You're talking about fader, mate. Yeah. The problem that I would have with that isn't so much the install, is that what happens if you, how robust and how high quality is it? You know what I mean? Because, and how is the service with the company? Because if the company website's kind of lean and you get kind of a crappy attitude when you try to contact them, what happens when you have a problem? Got to remember, when you have a console that has a motorized fader and you have 32 motors, there's a lot of moving parts. Over time, a lot of things can go wrong if the quality of the componentry is not great. And is the company a good company where you could get great support and spare parts and all of that stuff? That's what I would be worried about, just based on what little experience I had. And again, I could have just gotten a guy that was having a bad day, or just, it was just a one-off. They may be a fantastic company. I don't know. But again, like I said, aside from the fact that I was turned off by the way our short little communication went, the fact that their website looks like it's, at least when I looked at it, looks like it's 20 years old, and there's nothing really on YouTube about it, and it doesn't seem, they don't really market this thing, that tells me, and I'll be honest, I stumbled upon their stuff. I talked to lots of people in this industry with people who have consoles, and I talked to a lot of colleagues No one has ever mentioned that to me. So what I'm getting at is if it was really a great product and it was popular and lots of people installed it and liked it, it would be all over the internet. And the fact that it's not tells me it probably doesn't sell that well. Because if it did, you would know about it. You would know about it. Because as someone said a little earlier, there's a gaping hole in that market that somebody can fill. And if you can fill it for less than 10,000 bucks, I'm telling you, anybody that owns one of these would buy it. Anybody that owns a console in the $40,000 to $60,000, $70,000 range would spend $10,000 to add that to their console to keep them from having to spend another 20 or 30 on the console itself. You know what I mean? So I think there's definitely a market for it. Or maybe there's not, because you would think there would have been a console company that would have done that already. I wish this had an option. And maybe they will one day. Maybe SSL will build another version of the Origin where you can add an automation package for a certain amount of money. But my guess is it'll be really expensive because their AWS console, which is the one above this, I think starts at $133,000 or $130,000 if you want the 24 fader one. I think they make one a little bit less than that, but it's still over $100,000. It's twice what I paid for this, literally 2 times the cost. 2 times the cost. And the only real difference between this and that is that this has more EQs on. I think those only have 24 hardware EQs. This has 32. That doesn't even have dynamics on every channel, neither does this. But I think the only difference is the recall assist package, which is cool, and the automation flying faders, recall, and the automation. That's really the only difference between those two, between this and the next step up to the AWS. I don't think maybe it does not. Again, I don't know. I don't think that's a full-on DAW controller. I think it might have some DAW controllability in there. But even so, even if it did, the fact that it's literally double the price of this, it's hard to justify that, at least for me. The second you need help, you're screwed. Yep. Mind-boggling why you would develop a product like that and not really strive to marketability and customer service. You know, I don't even know if they're still in business, Juan. It could have been a guy doing it out of his garage. You know what I mean? It could have been a small little company. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't think there's some big company. There's no way. Because believe me, if they were a big company, they would be at NAMM. They would be at all these places. Believe me when I tell you, if that was a big company that was the real deal, everybody would know about them. Everyone in this industry would know about them. The fact that very few people know about them or talk about them, don't know. Yeah. A $50,000 or $30,000 automation package. 30,000 is a little much. I think 80 grand. Yeah, I hear you though. I hear you. If it was 50 with 20,000 for an automation package, I probably would have bought it. I would have bought it. Even if it didn't have recall in it, the recall assist. Because even in the AWS, the recall package, you still got to physically turn every pot. It's not digitally controlled. It's just a piece of software that tells you where you need to turn the pot. So you don't have to take pictures and stuff. Really cool, obviously. But if you just had the automation, I can't believe you couldn't do that for 20 grand. 70,000? Yeah, I do it for 70,000. 80's probably going a little much. But it must be really expensive to do because nobody sells a console at that price point. You can't find one for 80,000. I've yet to see it. I think API makes a couple of their small, like 16-channel ones that have the ability to add the automation package to it, like as an add-on. And I still think that's like 70 grand and it's only 16 faders, which to me wouldn't make sense. So 24 to 30 faders, 24 to 32 faders with automation. Nobody makes one for less than 100 grand as far as I know. So it must be a super expensive thing to put in a console, I would imagine. Site looks like it hasn't been updated in a while. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, I agree. I totally agree, man. Hey, maybe somebody will watch this live stream and they'll develop it, right? But like I said, I got the NG levelers. They're good. If you have any kind of an analog desk, even like an XL or, you know, a Mackie or anything like that, if you have a desk like that and you want to add automation via post-processing, you don't even have to have a console. You know, you can do it. You can do it. You don't even have to have a console. You can use NG levelers without a console if you have a bunch of hardware. You know what I mean? If you want to put automation after your hardware compressor, let's say, right? Because if you do it in the DAW today, that's pre the processing, right? So you need something that sits between the DAW going back in and the output stage of your hardware. That's what the NG leveler does. So even if you don't have a console, but you got a lot of hardware and you want to do automation post that processing, the NG leveler is something that's really cool. So you could get one unit for $2,000. You have 16 mono outs or 8 stereo outs that you can do just that. So that's a great way to do it. Because the only other way to really do it is you'd have to run your, say, your vocal channel out through your processing, print it back in, already treated, and then do automation. You could do that. But it's an extra step, right? Because you got to print everything back in one at a time. So yeah. Yeah. Krista says he's using just free plugins. Cool. Nothing wrong with that, man. You need to go over to homerecordingmadeeasy.com, Chris. If you're working in the box and you're doing that kind of stuff, I got a free course over there you could download for free. That'll help you. And then if you ever need any more training in the box, that website will really help you a lot. If you're not into the analog thing, you know, totally cool. So make sure you check that out for sure. That's homerecordingmadeeasy.com. As a matter of fact, I'll put the link in the description box for you in a second here. So if anyone new here that just stumbled upon the channel and likes talking about gear and stuff, but really works in the box, and you're not getting into all this nonsense, go to this website. That's where all that training resides. So that can help you as well. And there's a free course that you can download right on the homepage. So I give you something for nothing. Go check it out, Chris and anybody else who might be new here. So what else? Oh, I got to get going in about 15 minutes. Okay, so I got about 15 minutes. So if you have any other questions, now's the time to ask. Thanks so much for joining. I know it was kind of a no-notice impromptu thing, but I had about an hour or so between my projects here. So I figured while I was sitting down here, let's jump online and say hi to everybody. And just stay tuned to the channel because you got tons of videos coming every week. Lots and lots of videos. I'm starting to get tired of making all these crazy videos. Takes a lot out of you. Okay, anything else? Going once, going twice. If you guys are all done, then I'm all done. Totally cool. Thank you so much for joining me today and for stopping by and saying hello. Stay tuned. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I'll be on in a few more weeks. I'll try to schedule the next one a little bit ahead of time so you guys know when it's coming, so you can make plans, because a lot of people are out and about. This is the worst time to try to do the Saturday afternoon when it's nice outside. And we'll see each other soon. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. I'll talk to you guys later.